If you're thinking of applying for a brand new job because the current one you have quite frankly sucks and you could do with a little bit more money, here's exactly how you should be prioritizing your job search to land your next role. I'm Jacob and I feel for you. I know exactly what job hunting is like. I've been on both sides of it. Firstly, as a hiring manager responsible for hiring tens of people in the past for businesses I've worked for, and I've also placed thousands of jobs for businesses I've worked with as a recruiter and employment consultant. You probably already guessed from the thumbnail, but I am going to use a very tedious bronze, silver, and gold medal ranking metaphor to lay out the worst and best ways that you can bag yourself a better job. The gold medal option is obviously the most valuable, but it's also the hardest and arguably the scariest. So once you understand it, please give it a go. You've got nothing to lose. And if you'd like to go through anything in more depth, on my website, I offer a full toolkit, which is an end-to-end guide on applying for jobs. And it even has the exact scripts that you can use with employers to make sure you come away with the job that you want. And I also offer coaching so you can apply this knowledge to your specific situation. Kicking us off in the bronze medal position is applying for jobs online. But I hear you ask, isn't that how everybody lands their jobs nowadays? And the simple answer to that from somebody who's been involved in the industry for years is no. Think realistically about anybody who you know who is either super successful or who has a brilliant job. Do you realistically and honestly think that they landed their job and are in the position that they're in because they sat in bed scrolling through the job boards, answering those stupid application questions, to wait 3 weeks for an interview, to do well at the interview, to wait another 3 weeks, to be offered the job, to make some tinkering, to then start the job? I really don't think so. I really hope I'm the first person to come up with this analogy because I actually think it's really good. But applying for jobs online is a little bit like trying to get a drink in a packed pub on a Saturday night. You're in a crowd of people, sometimes hundreds. You're all vying for the attention of the one person who holds the power in that scenario, the barman. You look around and you genuinely think that you've given the barman the best wink and nod and flashed your £5 or whatever it is at him for a drink. You think you've done it the best, only to then see him walk away and go and serve somebody who's on the other side of the bar. Somebody you didn't even know was there, but they actually got there first and offered him something that made him want to serve them first. It's exactly the same when applying for jobs online. If, and it's a big if, you do choose to apply for your job online, please do yourself a favor and do as much as you can around the actual job application to make sure that you're front of mind with the employer and give you a little bit more chance than everyone else who is applying for the same job to get it. Please talk to the employer before you've even applied. Make sure they know who you are and why you'd be a good fit so that they're expecting your application when it comes through. Please talk to the employer or hiring manager immediately after applying. Make sure that they've got your application, they know you're a real person, and they know why they should take you seriously as a candidate forward for that job. Know exactly why they should hire you all the way through this process. So if you get a call, if you get the chance to actually get in front of somebody to sell yourself into this position, you know exactly what to say, which other people just aren't likely to know. And finally, make sure you have a really good plan in place for your follow-ups, whether that's following up from a chat with the employer, the hiring manager, a coffee with the boss, or an interview. Make sure you know when and what to say when you follow up. Also, make sure you get feedback so that you know if you didn't do so well, what you could do better next time to make sure jobs like these don't slip through your fingers. But if that all sounds a little bit much and overwhelming to start with, please just remember website, toolkit, coaching. Next, in the silver medal position is working alongside a recruiter or with a recruitment agency to get you your next job. Recruitment agencies are essentially businesses who partner with other businesses to help them hire their next candidate. They help them source the candidate, they help them through the application and screening process, and they help them even deliver the news, whether it's good or bad, at the end of the process. While that sounds very simple to just say or written on paper, it's actually incredibly difficult. And I've got so much respect for good recruiters, which is why I can speak highly of them. But there's just a couple of things that you need to be aware of as somebody who's going through the process as a job seeker that I want to talk you through. The way it would actually work with you working alongside a recruitment agency is that you would either just get in touch with them cold or you'd contact them through a job that they may have advertised. You would be screened by that recruitment agency as to your specific qualifications, what you want to get out of a job in a little interview style, and they would essentially help match you to a job that suits when it comes up. Notice here that I said match you to a job, not help you get a job. While most recruiters are brilliant, they essentially only get paid when you start a position. While this means they have a really big incentive to get everything right through the process for you to make sure that that position is started and you don't leave quickly, it's also in their interest for a job firstly to be offered and for you to take the job that has been teed up for you. Now, the reason that working alongside a recruiter or a recruitment agency is far better already in that bronze to silver medal step up than simply applying for jobs online is that the recruiter will get to the jobs first. These guys are very well trained, have real good sales knowledge and strategy and speed, and they'll get super close to the employers to make sure that what you see online when you actually apply for jobs online is probably just the dregs and what's left over from what they've already mopped up and offered to the candidates that they're working with. And finally, in the gold medal position is what we call speccing yourself in or making speculative applications for yourself. This is essentially where you market yourself to an employer directly, rather than applying through a job application portal or relying on a third party like a recruiter or a recruitment agency. You go straight to source, direct to the employer. Now, these employers are either people that you know to currently be hiring, you know that they hire people like you, or you know that they could potentially benefit from somebody who has your skills. There are two main ways of speccing yourself into an employer, and the second is actually your golden ticket to be able to carve a job for yourself and have a lot of ownership and say over your pay and the overall way that the job looks and could work for you. The first is to find employers who hire people who do exactly what you do, but hopefully in a better package or for better pay or whatever it is you're after. Maybe you know that that employer has a really good reputation in the industry that you currently work in. You've heard about them before and you're really keen to offer them your skills. Maybe you've heard through the grapevine or by looking at previous adverts that they pay better and that's your driver here. Or maybe they're just a little bit closer to home, which is going to save you the 2 hours of commuting to and from work that you currently do every day. Whatever it is, please do yourself a favor and spend time listing out these employers, listing out the hiring managers or decision makers, the people that you need to speak to, and then go after them. Again, much easier said than done for that one. And I know every aspect of that is difficult, feels overwhelming, a little bit awkward, and a little bit scary. So I break this down in the toolkit that's on my website, end-to-end guide, and even exactly what you need to say on your first approach to the employer, either on the phone, message, email, in person, and then what to actually say when you're in front of them to not make a fool of yourself, to present yourself in the best way, and to end up with that brilliant job that you've contacted them for. The second way is to find and identify businesses who, for whatever reasons you have, you would really like to work for them as your employer. You know that they could really utilize somebody with your skills, but you know that they don't have somebody doing it already. I know I've used this example before, but it's like you being a forklift driver and approaching a warehouse who, for whatever reason, don't currently employ any forklift drivers. You know that you would like to work for them as an employer, and you know that you could benefit their business by making it more efficient and more profitable from the skills that you have. If you can put together a really good brief and approach it in the right way with the employer, this gold medal winning method of finding a job could be the best way that you have to find yourself the ideal job. It gives you an opportunity to not only look at people that you want to work for, but to play to your own strengths, not only in terms of how they are contacted, but in terms of what you present to them as to how the job could look, even ownership of the money and the way the job could pan out for you long term. So to quickly recap the medal winning options for you to get your next job. In the bronze medal position is applying for jobs online, like trying to get a job in a really busy pub on a Saturday night. Hard. In the silver medal position, going through a recruiter or recruitment agency, great for more exclusive jobs, but limited options may be shown to you in the first place. And in the gold medal position and worthy of the national anthem is speccing yourself in. That's going after the employers that you know you want to work for, who might not even be advertising at that point, to carve a job that's going to work for you long term. Another video on this topic will probably pop up over one of my shoulders, so I hope that serves you well as well. If it's one of mine, great. I don't have many at this point, but there'll be more. Thanks so much for listening. Head over to the website if you need a little bit more help, and I'll see you in the next one.